Once upon a time, there lived a young prince named Siddhartha. He was born into a life of privilege and luxury, shielded from the harsh realities of the world by his father, the king. Siddhartha had everything he could ever desire: palaces, servants, and all the pleasures a young prince could dream of. As he grew older, Siddhartha became increasingly curious about the world beyond the palace walls. He began to venture outside and was exposed to the suffering that plagued the common people. He witnessed poverty, sickness, and the inevitability of death. These experiences weighed heavily on his heart, and he yearned to find a way to alleviate the suffering of the world. One day, Siddhartha made a life-altering decision. He renounced his royal status, left behind his lavish lifestyle, and set out on a quest for truth and enlightenment. He became an ascetic, living a life of extreme austerity, and sought wisdom from various spiritual teachers. But despite his efforts, he found no lasting answers to the questions that haunted his soul. One evening, as he meditated under a Bodhi tree, Siddhartha made a firm resolution. He vowed never to give in to anger or any other negative emotions. He understood that anger was a destructive force, and if he was to attain enlightenment and help others, he must conquer it. Years passed, and Siddhartha, now known as the Buddha, continued his spiritual journey. He practiced meditation and mindfulness diligently, gradually gaining insight into the nature of suffering and the path to inner peace. As he traveled, he shared his wisdom and teachings with those who were willing to listen. One day, the Buddha arrived in a small village, where a man, consumed by anger and hatred, approached him. The man hurled insults and abuse at the Buddha, hoping to provoke a reaction. But the Buddha remained calm and composed, his face filled with compassion. The man, taken aback by the Buddha's serene demeanor, asked, "Why do you not get angry, even when I insult you?" The Buddha replied, "Anger is like a burning coal that one holds with the intent of throwing it at another. In the end, it is the one who holds the coal who gets burned. I have chosen to let go of anger, for it only perpetuates suffering. By not getting angry, I free myself from its destructive power." The man was deeply moved by the Buddha's words and the peace that radiated from him. He realized the futility of his own anger and sought the Buddha's guidance to find inner peace. From that day forward, the Buddha continued his teachings, emphasizing the importance of conquering anger and cultivating compassion and understanding. He showed through his own example that one could attain enlightenment and lead a life of purpose without ever giving in to anger. The story of the Buddha's vow and his unwavering commitment to remain free from anger serves as a powerful reminder that inner peace and compassion can transform the world, one person at a time. It teaches us that the path to enlightenment begins with mastering our own emotions and choosing love over anger.